It was November of 1923, and the board of directors of Buster Keaton Productions met in New York to discuss the fate of the man whose name adorned their company. His run of silent shorts had been modestly successful, and while both Harold Lloyd and Charlie Chaplin outstripped him at the box office, it was nonetheless obvious his star was on the rise. Both Lloyd and Chaplin were making features, and the board was thinking it was high time for Buster Keaton to join them. For the businessmen who were to make that final decision, one fact loomed above all others. Features made more money. A dollar invested in a comedy feature returned a vastly higher profit than the same dollar invested in a short. By contract, Keaton still owed his 20th and final silent short, but the board decreed it would remain unmade. He was to turn his attentions pronto to the Three Ages. The Love Nest, released on June 3, 1923, marked the de facto swan song of his silent shorts, and it is as bizarre and distinctive as anything he made. Somber, elegiac, full of dark humor, it displays the narrative and thematic focus he would need in the world of feature films. In fact, in many ways, The Love Nest plays as a trial run for one of his best-loved features, The Navigator. So much so that scholars still argue whether one of Buster's most famous publicity stills was taken for The Love Nest or The Navigator. The Love Nest is the only of Buster Keaton's shorts for which he took sole credit as writer and director. And this is just one of the questions asked by the damaged state of the surviving materials. Records indicate Eddie Klein may have co-directed this, as he did practically all of the shorts, and the existing titles may simply be an inaccurate reconstruction. Another such question concerns Virginia Fox, Buster's leading lady through most of his shorts. The Love Nest was to mark her final collaboration with Keaton, and in the film as it stands today, that collaboration is nothing more than a fleeting glimpse in the opening shot and her appearance in a photograph. It's hard to say what her contribution to the film originally constituted. For decades, The Love Nest was considered a lost film, until Raymond Rohauer recompiled it in the 1970s from materials found overseas, primarily a print recovered from the then Czechoslovakia. Since then, additional discoveries of material in France and the Netherlands have helped restore additional fragments, but it is safe to conclude that the original ending was not so abrupt, and the original beginning included more of Virginia Fox rejecting Buster. That rejection propels Buster to sea, just as it would do later in The Navigator. But where The Navigator involves Buster's travails with a cantankerous ship, Buster's principal nemesis in The Love Nest is decidedly human. The tyrannical captain of The Love Nest is burly Joe Roberts, Keaton's long-standing foil and a friend of the Keaton family. He played the heavy in 16 of Buster's shorts and continued alongside Keaton in The Three Ages and Our Hospitality. During production of Our Hospitality, he suffered complications from a stroke and died at the age of 52. Death abounds on The Love Nest. Buster had always shown a mordant streak, yet few of his gags are as bitterly funny as the one where he sinks an entire ship, drowning its crew in order to escape in a lifeboat. Brilliantly conceived and played with patient, deadpan perfection, the joke is as close to the line as Buster would dare. Later, when one of Buster's favorite comedians, Harry Langdon, shot a scene for Long Pants in which Langdon tries to kill his girlfriend, Buster Keaton would declare that as having finally crossed the line into bad taste. The recurring gag of Captain Joe Roberts crossing the names of his mates off a list and tossing a wreath into the sea to commemorate their execution becomes an almost Lubitchian touch. Take a close look at that crew roster. Buster's listed as Frigo, which is one of his foreign nicknames, and it indicates that this insert shot is not from the original footage. Other such foreign nicknames for Buster Keaton include Malek and Pamplinus. Speaking of running gags, some of them spill out beyond the boundaries of this film and invade his other works. The Love Nest joins Convict 13, The Playhouse, The Frozen North, and later features like Sherlock Jr. in its dream setting. In The Paleface, he had a gag where a title card alleged that 2 years had elapsed, with no change in his position or behavior in the frame. In The Love Nest, he reverses that gag. We see time elapse by having him reappear with a ludicrously fake, drawn-on beard. Buster ran a variation on this joke in his later talkie short Ditto, in which the passing of a long time was conveyed to the audience by Buster reappearing with a truly absurd fake beard. Buster copied himself because almost no one else could. Other comedians could do great stunts or eye-popping special effects, but no one quite copied Buster's worldview. Here is a man of a mechanical mind and a quick wit who's also clumsy and naive. Who but Buster Keaton could pull off an effortless yet wholly unintentional mutiny? And who but Buster Keaton would see that triumph unmade in the same instant? This is Buster Keaton in a nutshell. One step forward, one step back.